Hi everyone. Welcome back to our channel English Rise. If you want to improve your English while developing clarity, discipline, and deep self-awareness, consider subscribing and staying with us. Now let's begin. Most people think they need motivation to change their life. They don't. They need vision. Not a fantasy. Not a dream influenced by others. Not a list of goals borrowed from society. A real vision is something deeper. It is a clear internal direction that remains stable even when emotions change. Without vision, effort becomes chaotic. Without vision, discipline feels meaningless. Without vision, people start strong and quit silently. Vision is what gives suffering a reason. It gives effort a direction. It gives sacrifice a meaning. In a dark and distracted world, having a vision is an act of rebellion. Part 2. Why most people live without a real vision. Most people are not lazy. They are unclear. They wake up, react to life, respond to demands, and repeat patterns. Days pass, years pass. Life moves forward without intention. This happens because creating a vision requires discomfort. It requires asking difficult questions. It requires honesty. It requires facing the gap between who you are and who you could become. A weak world avoids these questions. It distracts you with entertainment. It fills silence with noise. It replaces reflection with consumption. Living without vision feels easier in the short term, but in the long term, it creates frustration, confusion, and emptiness. Part 3. The difference between goals and vision. Goals are external. Vision is internal. Goals can change quickly. Vision evolves slowly. You can reach a goal and still feel lost. You cannot live aligned with your vision and feel empty. Goals answer the question, what do I want to achieve? Vision answers the question, who am I becoming? A strong vision organizes goals naturally. Without vision, goals compete with each other. With vision, goals support each other. This is why many people achieve things and still feel disconnected. They chased outcomes without direction. Part 4. Why clarity is painful at first. When you start creating a vision, confusion increases before it decreases. This is normal. Clarity forces confrontation. You see habits that no longer fit. You see relationships that drain you. You see paths that are comfortable but empty. This awareness is uncomfortable. Many people stop here. They mistake discomfort for danger. But discomfort is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that something real is forming. A vision cannot be built on illusion. It must be built on truth. Part 5. The role of identity in your vision. Your vision is not about what you want to have. It is about who you choose to be. Identity comes first. Lifestyle comes second. If your identity is unclear, your vision will collapse under pressure. A strong vision answers questions like, what do I value even when no one is watching? What kind of person do I respect? What am I willing to sacrifice for long-term meaning? These answers create internal structure, and structure creates stability. Part 6. Why a vision must be internal before it becomes external. Many people build visions based on appearance, money, status, recognition. These things are not wrong. But when they become the foundation, the vision becomes fragile. External rewards fluctuate. Internal alignment remains. A vision built internally survives failure, delay, and criticism. A vision built externally collapses the moment approval disappears. This is why discipline fades for most people. They were chasing validation, not alignment. Part 7. Building a vision through honesty and discomfort. A real vision cannot be created in comfort. It is formed in moments of honesty, when you stop negotiating with your own excuses. Most people avoid this stage because it feels heavy. You begin to see clearly where your life is misaligned. You notice how much energy is wasted on things that do not matter. You realize how often you choose safety over meaning. This awareness hurts, not because it is negative, but because it removes illusions. A weak world teaches you to protect your feelings. A strong vision asks you to confront them. You may feel regret for lost time. You may feel frustration about past decisions. You may feel fear about the future. All of this is part of the process. Vision is not created by optimism. It is created by truth, and truth reorganizes the mind. When you accept where you are without self-deception, your direction becomes clearer. Discomfort here is not a sign of failure. It is the foundation of alignment. Part 8. The role of pain in shaping direction. Pain is often misunderstood. In a weak world, pain is something to escape, to numb, to distract from. But pain contains information. It shows you what matters. It highlights where your values are being violated. It reveals what you can no longer tolerate. A strong vision listens to pain instead of silencing it. Not all pain should be followed, but all pain should be understood. When something repeatedly hurts, it is pointing to misalignment. Ignoring this signal leads to stagnation. Using it wisely leads to clarity. Many of the strongest visions are born after periods of disappointment, failure, or loss. Not because pain is good, but because it forces reflection. Vision grows when pain is transformed into meaning. Part 9. Why most visions fail after the initial excitement. At the beginning, vision feels inspiring. Energy rises, motivation increases, possibility feels endless. Then reality appears. Progress slows, doubt enters, comfort calls. This is where most visions die. Not because they were wrong, but because they were not internalized. A vision that exists only in thought cannot survive emotional resistance. To last, a vision must be felt, not just imagined. It must be connected to values. It must be tied to identity. It must be reinforced through daily behavior. Without this integration, vision becomes just another idea. Strong visions survive boredom, repetition, and uncertainty. Part 10. Making your vision emotionally real. Emotion is the glue of commitment. If your vision does not move you emotionally, it will not guide your actions. This does not mean constant excitement. It means resonance. When you think about your vision, there should be a sense of rightness, a quiet pull forward. To create this, you must visualize process, not just outcomes. Who are you becoming day by day? How do you behave when no one is watching? What habits reflect your future self? Emotion grows when vision becomes lived experience, not distant fantasy. This emotional connection stabilizes discipline. You stop needing motivation because your actions make sense. Part 11. Sacrifice as a requirement, not a problem. Every real vision demands sacrifice, time, energy, comfort, old identities. Many people avoid vision because they fear what they might have to give up. But sacrifice is not loss. It is exchange. You exchange short-term pleasure for long-term meaning. A weak world frames sacrifice as suffering. A strong vision frames it as alignment. When sacrifice is connected to purpose, it no longer feels heavy. It feels intentional. And intention creates strength. Part 12. Long-term thinking as a stabilizing force. Vision collapses when thinking becomes short-term. Daily emotions fluctuate. Results delay. Comparison appears. Long-term thinking stabilizes the mind. It reminds you that growth is uneven, that progress is invisible at first, that consistency matters more than intensity. A strong vision stretches beyond immediate results. It allows you to endure uncertainty without losing direction. This is why vision is not about speed. It is about trajectory. Part 13. Commitment when motivation disappears. Motivation is unstable. It rises when things feel new and disappears the moment resistance appears. If your vision depends on motivation, it will collapse at the first sign of difficulty. This is why commitment matters more than inspiration. Commitment is the decision to continue even when your emotions argue against you. A strong vision is not sustained by excitement. It is sustained by identity. You stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" and start asking, "Is this who I decided to become?" This shift changes everything. When vision becomes identity, action becomes non-negotiable. You no longer wait for the right mood. You move because movement reinforces meaning. Commitment is quiet. It is repetitive. It is often boring. But it is what separates imagined futures from lived ones. Part 14. Building systems that protect your vision. A weak world glorifies willpower. But willpower is fragile. It fades with stress. It collapses under pressure. It disappears when life becomes chaotic. Systems exist to protect vision from emotion. A system is a structure that removes decision-making. It reduces friction. It guides behavior automatically. Strong individuals do not rely on strength. They rely on design. Your environment, routines, and habits either support your vision or sabotage it silently. Every repeated action is a vote for the future you are building. When systems are aligned with vision, progress becomes inevitable, not fast, but consistent. Consistency compounds. Part 15. The discipline of saying no. Vision requires subtraction. You cannot build a clear future while carrying everything from your past. Many people fail not because they do too little, but because they refuse to let go. Distractions, social expectations, unnecessary obligations. A weak world fears saying no. It equates boundaries with selfishness, but boundaries protect focus. Every yes costs energy. Every commitment divides attention. A strong vision demands selectivity. You learn to ask, does this move me closer or further? If it does not serve the direction, it becomes noise. Saying no is not rejection of others. It is respect for your future self. Part 16. Silence, solitude, and clarity. Vision cannot survive constant noise. Endless opinions dilute direction. Comparison distorts perspective. External validation weakens internal certainty. Silence restores alignment. Solitude allows reflection without influence. This does not mean isolation. It means intentional distance. Time alone reveals patterns. It clarifies values. It strengthens intuition. A weak world avoids silence because silence exposes truth. A strong individual uses silence to sharpen direction. Your vision becomes clearer when fewer voices are allowed inside your mind. Part 17. Staying consistent when results are invisible. Most visions fail in the invisible phase, the phase where effort does not yet show results, where progress feels slow, where doubt whispers loudly. This phase tests belief. You are asked to continue without evidence, to trust direction without confirmation. This is where mental strength is forged. Those who quit here never know how close they were. Consistency during invisibility is the mark of maturity. Vision is not proven early. It is proven over time. Part 18. Aligning daily action with long-term meaning. Vision collapses when daily behavior contradicts it. Small actions matter more than dramatic gestures. How you start your day, how you manage energy, how you respond to setbacks. Alignment is built in ordinary moments. Each choice either reinforces identity or erodes it. When daily actions reflect long-term meaning, discipline feels natural. You are no longer forcing yourself forward. You are simply acting in accordance with who you chose to become. Part 19. Protecting your vision from a weak world. A weak world resists strong direction. It questions ambition. It mocks discipline. It fears consistency. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone needs to. Your responsibility is not to explain. It is to persist. External doubt only becomes dangerous when it is internalized. Protecting vision means choosing what influences you allow, what content you consume, what conversations you engage in, what standards you accept. Your environment shapes belief. Guard it carefully. Part 20. When vision becomes identity. The final stage of vision is integration. You stop talking about who you want to be. You start acting as who you are becoming. Vision no longer feels distant. It feels embodied. You do not chase purpose. You live it. This is where consistency becomes effortless, where discipline feels natural, where direction stabilizes the mind. You are no longer reacting to life. You are shaping it. Part 21. The inner conflict that always emerges. No vision grows without resistance. At some point, you will experience an internal split. One part of you wants comfort, familiarity, and approval. Another part wants growth, meaning, and long-term fulfillment. This conflict is unavoidable. Most people interpret this tension as a sign that something is wrong. They assume doubt means failure. In reality, doubt is a signal of transformation. Your old identity is losing control. Your new identity is not fully formed yet. This creates discomfort. The mistake is trying to eliminate the conflict. The strength is learning to endure it. Mental strength is not clarity without tension. It is clarity despite tension. When you expect resistance, it loses its power to surprise you. And when resistance stops surprising you, it stops controlling you. Part 22. Why most people abandon their vision too early. People do not abandon vision because it is wrong. They abandon it because it becomes inconvenient. The early phase feels empowering. The middle phase feels demanding. The later phase feels lonely. In the middle, progress slows. Validation disappears. Effort increases. This is where most people turn back. They confuse difficulty with misalignment. They mistake boredom for failure. But vision is not meant to entertain you. It is meant to shape you. A weak world seeks constant stimulation. A strong individual accepts repetition. Those who reach their vision are not more talented. They are simply more tolerant of delayed gratification. Part 23. Emotional regulation as a core skill. Vision collapses when emotions dictate behavior. Mood-based action creates inconsistency. Inconsistency erodes belief. Strong vision requires emotional regulation. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It means not obeying them blindly. You learn to feel doubt without surrendering to it, to feel fear without retreating, to feel tired without quitting. Emotions become information, not commands. This skill separates those who drift from those who direct their lives. When emotions no longer control your actions, your vision becomes stable. Stability creates momentum. Part 24. The role of patience in long-term vision. Vision unfolds slowly, not because you are failing, but because depth takes time. Impatience is the enemy of meaning. A weak world rewards speed and visibility, but deep fulfillment is built quietly. Patience allows skills to mature. It allows character to solidify. It allows identity to align with direction. Those who rush outcomes often arrive empty. Those who endure the process arrive transformed. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active persistence without anxiety. Part 25. Redefining success to stay committed. Many visions collapse because success is poorly defined. If success is only external results, motivation will fluctuate. External outcomes are delayed and unpredictable. A stronger definition of success focuses on process. Did you show up today? Did you act in alignment? Did you honor your standards? When success is measured internally, progress becomes visible daily. This keeps vision alive during slow periods. You stop chasing milestones and start reinforcing identity. Identity sustains vision long after excitement fades. Part 26. The necessity of sacrifice. Every vision demands sacrifice. Time, comfort, relationships, old habits. There is no exception. What weakens people is not sacrifice itself, but the refusal to accept it consciously. When sacrifice is resisted, resentment grows. When sacrifice is chosen intentionally, it becomes meaningful. You stop feeling like you are losing something. You start feeling like you are investing. A vision without sacrifice is not a vision. It is a fantasy. Part 27. Building self-trust through follow-through. Self-trust is not built through affirmations. It is built through evidence. Every time you follow through, trust increases. Every time you quit, doubt strengthens. Vision requires you to become reliable to yourself. Not perfect. Reliable. Small promises kept daily create internal confidence. Confidence grounded in action is unshakable. This self-trust becomes the foundation that supports long-term vision. Part 28. Living without constant reassurance. At some point, you must stop asking for permission. Stop seeking approval. Stop waiting for validation. Stop needing reassurance. Vision matures when it no longer depends on external confirmation. You learn to move forward even when no one claps. This independence is uncomfortable at first. Then it becomes liberating. A weak world needs constant feedback. A strong individual trusts direction. Silence from others does not mean you are wrong. It often means you are early. Part 29. When your vision is tested by failure. No vision survives untouched by failure. At some point, something will go wrong. A plan will fail. A result will disappoint. An expectation will collapse. This moment is decisive. Failure does not destroy vision. Interpretation does. Weak minds see failure as proof of incapacity. Strong minds see it as feedback. Failure strips illusion. It forces refinement. It reveals what was built on fantasy and what was built on truth. A vision that cannot survive failure was never strong enough to guide a life. The goal is not to avoid failure, but to remain oriented despite it. When failure no longer shakes your direction, your vision becomes resilient. Part 30. Adapting without losing direction. Vision is not rigidity. Many people confuse clarity with stubbornness. They cling to plans instead of principles. Strong vision adapts methods while preserving meaning. The destination remains the same. The path evolves. This flexibility prevents collapse. It allows growth without confusion. You learn to ask, what is essential here? And what can change without compromise? Adaptation without loss of identity is a sign of maturity. Vision is not about control. It is about coherence. Part 31. The moment you stop seeking shortcuts. Shortcuts are tempting. They promise speed without transformation. But shortcuts weaken vision. They disconnect effort from identity. They replace growth with convenience. At some point, you realize there is no bypass for becoming. You accept the long road, the slow refinement, the repeated effort. This acceptance creates peace. You stop rushing. You stop comparing. You stop questioning the timeline. Vision becomes less about arrival and more about alignment. Part 32. Loneliness as a side effect of clarity. Clear vision often creates distance. Not everyone will walk with you. Not everyone will understand your choices. This loneliness is not punishment. It is a consequence of direction. A weak world prefers sameness. Vision creates divergence. Learning to stand alone without becoming bitter is part of mental strength. Solitude sharpens focus. It strengthens conviction. Those who cannot tolerate being alone often abandon their vision to rejoin the comfort of the crowd. Part 33. The quiet confidence of consistency. Over time, something changes. You stop explaining yourself. You stop proving. You stop seeking recognition. Consistency builds a quiet confidence. You know who you are becoming because you see it daily in your actions. This confidence is calm. It does not seek attention. It does not need defense. Vision no longer feels fragile. It feels grounded. At this stage, quitting feels unnatural. Drifting feels uncomfortable. You have crossed a threshold. Part 34. When vision becomes a way of life. Eventually, vision stops being something you think about. It becomes how you live. Your decisions align naturally. Your habits support direction. Your identity stabilizes. There is less internal conflict, less negotiation, less chaos. You are no longer forcing yourself forward. You are simply living in alignment with what matters most. This is the true reward of vision. Not status, not recognition, but inner coherence. Part 35. The final truth about sticking to your vision. Vision is not about seeing the future clearly. It is about committing before the future is clear. It is choosing meaning over comfort, direction over distraction, depth over ease. Most people never fail because they aim too high. They fail because they aim too vaguely. A clear vision simplifies life. It filters choices. It stabilizes the mind. And when the world feels chaotic, vision becomes an anchor. If you've reached this point, remember this. You do not need more motivation. You need clarity, commitment, and patience. Your vision will not save you from difficulty, but it will give difficulty meaning, and meaning makes endurance possible. If this video helped you practice your English while reflecting on your life direction, consider subscribing to English Rise. Here, we train your English and your mind at the same time. Thank you for being here. Drop your feedback in the comments. Suggestions and improvements are always welcome.